is Unilateral Everything, episode 2, vlog 2, whatever you want to call it. Finishing out the first week. Finished with this week, because of this kind of an experimental thing that I'm doing. Decided to do first week was a test week. Just did a weightlifting meet last Saturday, so today is Saturday, July 7th. Did a meet on the 30th of June. First meet in a couple, I guess almost a year. So just wanted to see how I did there. I was trying to go qualify for nationals, change the weight classes on Thursday. So that's totally null and void at this point, but went for it anyway. Did pretty well, was happy with it, but decided to use that peak as a way to see where I was in the beginning of this process of trying to do everything. So Monday took off from the meet. Tuesday did a back squat and shoulder press max, just seeing where those were. Ended up with a little less than, didn't hit any PRs on that. Was about 5 pounds shy on the back squat, and then another 10 pounds shy on the shoulder press. So nothing too good on that. I think it was like 455 and 170. Never really been a strong shoulder presser, so I'm not really bummed about that. Then Wednesday took off. I've been really busy this week doing a couple new programs. Thursday had deadlift max, doing a clean deadlift just because it's a little more applicable to the weightlifting movement. So tested that, same thing, hit 100%, but didn't notice new PRs. Wasn't really expecting anything new, didn't feel 100% that day. And then took Friday off, and then today did front squat max, ended with 405, which is a front squat PR by about 5 pounds, and did that. So that gives me some baselines to use. Obviously the whole point of this little trial is to see if not doing any traditional squatting or any kind of bilateral squatting and hinging movements is going to assist in both increasing the Olympic lifts and then also with my squat and deadlift maxes. So that's going to be interesting to see now that I got some baseline numbers. Interesting comment I got on episode 1 or that first vlog regarding what I'm using for my unilateral movements, and another coach had kind of addressed the concern about trunk stability, since my main movements I kind of hinted at and touched on were some reverse lunges, some Bulgarian split squat, and just regular split squat. And then obviously my deadlift is going to be a single leg deadlift, which is going to be pretty weird. And their comment was, what about trunk stability and not going below parallel? Because those split squats and those lunges, they stop at 90 degrees, so when your back knee hits the ground. And so what am I going to do to maintain or increase trunk stability since I'm not going into super deep hip flexion? And I guess that was a great point that I really hadn't thought of. I really am doing this whole thing on a whim, so we're going to see how that all works out. What I will say is that I will be doing a lot of carries, a lot of suitcase, farmer carry, offset carries, things like that to try to aid with that. But also be doing some step ups to a higher box, both from the side and from the forward. So I'll have some movements that will get into that super deep flexion. It just depends as to whether or not how I load those up. Most of those won't be barbell movements, at least at the get-go. Maybe at some point the second, I guess, mesocycle or second block that I'll do will have those a little bit more in barbell movements. I will say I'm not super concerned about it though. Yes, it piqued my interest and it was something I didn't really consider much What I'm not super concerned about is that I'm actually one of those people that I good morning my squat. I'll admit it, and that's not something that I'm necessarily proud of, but back strength and core strength has never really been the issue for me. It's always been the leg strength component. I generally miss my clean and jerks in the clean portion of the lift, standing up out of the hole. I miss a lot of my squats the same way. I can always get down, and it's generally right around that 90-degree range of motion that I bail out. And I'll post, this is, you can see the video that's playing right now of the squat max I did and where I failed. I kind of bail out right at that 90-degree range. So really focusing on leg strength. I'll still be doing a lot of carries and a lot of offset stability work as much as I can to do to keep that trunk stability in line. So that's going to be really interesting to see, and really going to be excited to see how that all plays out. So that's kind of where we're at going into Monday, starting off with barbell reverse lunges, and my main Olympic lifts will probably be some no hook, no contact snatches. I can't remember what I put in there. I only wrote the program about a week ago. And so yeah, that's the end of week 1. Really excited to see how week 2 ends up, and especially with the new weight classes, maybe this will add some hypertrophy because I'm not going to be able to cut down to 81, but maybe try to compete at the American Open Finals in December as an 89. So we'll see how that goes. Until next time, see ya.